How long should a story be? Is your story too long? Have you added so many words that it has lost all its power? Not sure how long the story should be. In today's video, I'm going to answer the question of how long your story should be and give you 3 quick tips so you can control the story instead of the story controlling you. So join me in another Story Short Take with Kelly Swanson. Quick tips for big results. We all love stories, and they are important tools to persuade and connect with our audience. But not all stories are created equal. Have you ever listened to someone ramble on and on and on, and all you kept wondering was when they were going to stop? Or have you ever listened to a story that never really went anywhere and found yourself asking, what's the point? Do people give you confused looks when you tell that story? You don't feel like the story maybe is landing the way it could? Don't worry. It happens to the best of us, and it's quite easy to fix. Chances are, it's just not the right length. Now, there are many ways that a story can be powered up. Today, we're just going to talk about the perfect length for your story. I once worked with a client who had a very powerful life story about a horrific accident. It had changed his life forever. It was so powerful, it took him 45 minutes to tell it. And he had so much in it that we as his audience got tired of carrying all those details. And we started to get bored. He didn't understand why he never got a standing ovation. I told him, simple, it's too long. And because it's too long, it lost all its power. So the first lesson, shorter is better. Shorter forces you to keep the things that really matter. The more you cut, the more powerful it will be. Include only what really needs to be included in that story. There's no hard and fast rule on how long a story should be. It depends on the platform you're using and how long people on that platform are expecting the content to be. But as a rule of thumb, try to tell your story in 5 minutes. If you can't, well, you might have more than one story. My client realized he didn't have one story. He had a portfolio of different stories that could be told in different situations and in different ways. Second lesson, understand the structure. Not only was my client's story too long, he really didn't understand the structure of it. What's the point of the story? What's the lesson? Why is he even telling it to me? How does it start? How does it end? You want to know all these things before you ever craft the first word. Don't let the story control you. You control it. When I asked my client to tell me the purpose of that story, he had to stop and think about it for a long time. Once he was able to really put into words why he was sharing that story with me, the story took on more power. And third, go to a moment, not a decade. Specific is better in a story than general. I would rather hear about one person than a whole team of people. I would rather be taken to 1 or 2 moments than have you generalize the whole thing into what happened over the course of several years. My client had been through a lot in his story. Before the accident, waking up and how it felt, hearing the doctor tell him he might not walk again, having his wife leave him because she couldn't handle it, searching for someone to help him walk again, etc. It was just too much to try and tell me all of this at once. So I told him, go to a moment. The moment he realized he had a choice to make, for example, to give up or to fight. Tell me about that moment, I said. And if you need a little backstory to make it make sense, fine, but you can only add a sentence or 2. He ended up with a very powerful story about that one moment that did everything he needed it to do. He even realized that the other parts of the story didn't even really need to be told. So we decided to save the rest for the Lifetime movie instead. So let's recap. 1, shorter is better. 2, understand the structure. And 3, go to a moment, not a decade. I'll tell you about the next time he told that story in a minute. But first, I have a favor to ask. I would love it if you would please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and share this video with your own followers. It would really help me get my stories out there so I can help more people. Now, back to the story of my client. I got to watch him deliver a keynote with this new story in it. I was amazed at the difference in the power of it. You could have heard a pin drop in that room. I teared up, and I'd even heard it before. Not only did he get a standing ovation, he got a powerful story video to put on his website as a lead magnet. And not only that, he realized that he had been working far harder than he had to, that the power was really only minutes away. It's important to remember that stories are a tool, and it's not about finding the best story, but finding the right story to influence our listener. And it doesn't take long to accomplish that. I'm Kelly Swanson. Thank you for meeting me in that magical place where the art of story meets the business of persuasion. I'll see you next time. Bye.